Hi everyone, this is Hillary Ellers from Lightwork Studio, and I am very excited about our lesson today. But before we start in, I want to ask you to send questions. Send them to my email address, and that is the send to Hillary at gmail.com. I love questions, and I want us to have a session on your questions. So today, the topic we're going to get into, and I think it will be at least a two-part and probably a three-part lesson, but it is the individual and the collective. So, in the past we have studied about the major urges of consciousness, and we've talked about three major urges. But what I'd like you to look at and identify with now, and this is definitely my belief, that all things are conscious, all things. And part of the reason I believe that is because all things are composed of atoms and molecules, and every atom is a conscious being. And so even the chair, composed of atoms, has the consciousness of those atoms. And your life will really shift if you start treating things, everything, as if they're conscious. And if you talk to them and form more of a relationship with everything, you'll be surprised at some of the outcomes. I've told you some of the stories. When I've had cars that should have been dead and gone, and I talked to them and babied them and patted them, and they kept on going. So, but I believe that all things in the universe want to cooperate, and let yourself be part of that relationship. So, what are the three urges of consciousness? We haven't talked about it in a while. The first urge of all conscious beings is to connect and to communicate. And this is a kind of experience of oneness. So that's how we learn more about oneness, is through our ability to connect and communicate. The second urge is to create. And that's how we discover ourselves as gods. We have the very same God stuff in us that God itself has. And we have the capacity to create, certainly not to the level that the Creator is creating, but we are learning to be gods. And I urge you to really think about and to learn more about your ability to create, because you not only create with your actions, you actually create with your thoughts and your feelings. And more proof is coming through now scientifically that consciousness and desire affects physical matter. So the last big urge of consciousness is to create. Pardon me, I'm saying that wrong. It is to complete. And that ties in with reincarnation. We all are here to learn all that we can learn about being human. And part of the way we do that is not through only one lifetime, which would never give us enough experience to learn all about being human, but through many, many lifetimes. And through those experiences of multiple lives, we complete our work as humans. Now, let's talk a little about, and you'll see why I'm tying in some of this. Let's talk a little about how consciousness is organized. And this is something that we have talked about also. That in the mineral kingdom and the plant kingdom and in the early or young animal kingdom, there is a type of organization of soul that is called the group soul or oversoul. And these beings collectively experience the divine. They collectively experience the divine within themselves and each other. And they are guided, protected, led very, very strongly by the group soul. And this is where some of the devas who work with the earth from the Devic side, the Devic kingdom, this is where they come in because they protect and help all the nature kingdoms, the mineral, the plant, and the animal kingdoms. And I feel that they also help to create a cohesiveness within the group souls. Then something happens. And you know what it is if you've been watching the lessons. When animals begin to come to the end of the animal experience, and they've learned all they can by being an animal, they begin to literally break away from the group soul. And to do that, it helps them to have relationships with humans, to be around humans. And when we talked about our best friends in the lessons on animals, we even found out that sometimes a definite spiritual relationship forms, a definite spiritual commitment happens between humans and animals, that they will work together, and the human will help the animal as they are preparing to be human, as they are breaking away from the group soul, and the animal, oh my gosh, greatly, greatly helps the human as well. So then let's think of the comparison between the higher animals and humans and the lesser evolved nature kingdoms. So the group soul becomes individual soul. The oversoul becomes the collective, and we're going to be talking about the collective today. And instinct, so rich and vivid in the animal experience, then becomes and moves over into intuition that we have as humans. So let's think of it this way. Our individual souls are similar to and do the same they produce the same service to us as the nature kingdoms have with the group soul. The oversoul is very much like the collective that we humans experience. And instinct becomes intuition. When we are looking at these qualities of consciousness, remember that it is only when the animals individuate that they really begin to become more self-aware and much more like humans. They're really ready. They are becoming ready to be human. And when you have pets and you have a sense that they are getting ready to be human, and you can kind of tell that they're almost human, or maybe they're a lot like a human, know that they really, really need you, because you are helping them make that branch over from the protection they had with the group soul into individual soul. Now, some people refer to the collective, and we're going to talk about what it is. Some people refer to the collective in just calling it the collective. Other people refer to the collective as the collective unconscious. They're both the same. It doesn't matter the name we give them. And isn't that so often true in metaphysical philosophies, that the names don't matter, but the substance of the teaching counts? So, the collective is a depository. It's a collection of every action, every thought, every feeling that every human has or has ever had. And it's very similar to the Akashic record, but it's somewhat different. We hear about the Akasha, and we hear about sensitive people who can read the Akasha. The Akasha, in my opinion, is a collection of and a reservoir of history, and the history of humanity. So that's the Akasha. The collective it's the history of humanity, but it entails also the feelings, the thoughts, even the imaginings of all human beings. The disposition of a human being is part of the collective. It is said that, and many people believe that, and I believe this too, that world events are shaped by the collective. That on an unconscious level, we are all making an agreement through the collective we are making an agreement to the world events that happen. Now, you may not believe that right now. I hear people tell me all the time what's bothering them, and you know, people are worried right now about the state of the earth and the state of the world. But I want to let you know that we as a group are influencing these realities. The collective is thought even to influence weather conditions. Isn't that a wild thought? And my sense is that weather conditions help to balance the energies within the collective. And everyone contributes to the collective. All that you're about goes into the collective. If you are a person of integrity, it goes into the collective and helps lift the collective. If you are a person without integrity, your energy still goes into the collective and probably pulls the collective down. So know that not only do we influence the collective influences us. And know that it's somewhat difficult to describe how the collective influences each individual. But I feel a lot of the problems that people have now, in particular, with depression, with mood swings, with different kinds of personality and mental disorders, I believe a lot of this is a reflection of the collective and its effect on individuals. Now, know that all time is included in the collective. And here we come into the ideas that all time is happening at once, and that's a mind stretcher. It's sort of like there's no beginning and no end. And I told you I finally figured that out. I think I did, because I see now the process as a circle, which has no beginning or end. Well, time is all happening at once. And any point in time always exists. People who can tune in to the past, like some sensitives can go to sacred sites and they can tune into what happened there. Sometimes they can tune into, like, it would be really hard, I think, to go to the Colosseum in Italy, and I guess it's in Rome, and tune in. It would be like, because those energies still exist. On some level, they're still happening. We can return or go forward to any moment in time, and those moments forever exist. Time is moving, and yet, in another way, it's frozen, because we can always tap back in to any time frame. Now, I want to mention something here that I think is super interesting. Any lifetime you've ever had, whatever personality, whatever makeup you've had in that lifetime, the gender, the appearance, everything about you still exists. Isn't that wild? It's like, I feel it's even true that sometimes some of your inner teachers are you in some of your other lifetimes. Because in some lifetimes you've developed certain traits that maybe you didn't work on much in this lifetime, and you didn't bring in much to keep building it. So at times you can use the help of one of your other lifetimes in which you superseded, really went wild with a certain trait, and now you need it. So don't be surprised that your teachers may be who you are in another life. I've had times when I could feel one of my other lifetimes overshadowing me. And I remember I went through a period of time when I was very in touch with an Egyptian woman, and I felt like she was a priestess of some sort. And I actually felt her. I felt myself in her body. I would be sitting, and all of a sudden, I wasn't in Hillary's body. I was in the Egyptian's body. And her body's really different than mine. You know, I'm a little, I don't know, is it mesomorph or whatever the muscular, you know. I used to lift weights, so, you know, I'm the little squat, muscular type. And she was long and lean and kind of sinuous. And I could just feel her presence, and it was a very good feeling. And I never had an exact message from her, but I feel she must have been influencing me in some way at that time when she was coming around. So know that even when your loved ones die, even if they reincarnate, they will still be your loved one. And there will be a remaining part of them that is the person you know, and you will always be able to connect with them. People worry about, what if my daughter who died has reincarnated? It doesn't matter. On some level, there is an aspect that she is still your daughter and recognizable and has the personality and the makeup to be still in relationship with you. Now, we're going to keep going. We're going to end right here for today. But we're going to keep going with these ideas. And I think you're going to like them. Take care. And just begin by more consciously stepping into your body. And be aware now of how your body feels. Is this a good day for your body? Maybe it is a difficult day for your body. And know that as we meditate together, your body will feel better. Allow yourself now to focus on your breath. And just feel how good it feels to breathe. Every incoming breath brings a soothing wave of relaxation through your entire body. Every outgoing breath carries with it all of the stress of the day, all out and away from you. Every incoming breath brings a soothing wave of relaxation through your entire body. And just feel your muscles growing longer. Allowing the chair to support you. And in this moment, when you feel you have relaxed all that you can, find yourself relaxing even more. From this deeply relaxed space, there are experiences you can have that are normally beyond your reach. Allow yourself to observe how you are in relationship with the collective, and just use your imagination. Simply observe how all that you are about, flows into the collective. And be aware of how the collective influences you. And know that as you experience this, you are learning more. And each time you return to connect with the collective, you will once again learn even more. Now, very gradually, begin to return and give thanks for this knowledge. Perhaps it was something you were not even aware of. Bring with you all that you have experienced and return to the safe container of your physical body. Just find yourself returning. And when you are back, you can begin to move. You can begin to stretch. Open your eyes. Hi. I hope you're writing about all your meditative experiences in your journal. Thank you.